Zaki would like to thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Maybe we are about to be discussing a lot of interesting topics about tourism, but I'd let Rasha maybe to start with the first question.
Well, of course, before we start anything, I'd like to ask you, how do you see the tourism so far? Because there are talks that it's picking up. Is it really picking up?
We have two major kind of tourism.
Yes.
The leisure, which is Gharda, Sharm el-Sheikh, Marsa Alam, and so on. And we have the classical program, which is the cultural program. What is really picking up somehow is the leisure. But as far as the cultural program, which brings the main income to Egypt, this is stopped since 2011. And it will, maybe, it will start sometime in October if things are going well. An example, Thomas Cook, one of the leaders in the market in the UK, decided to cancel all their flights to Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada all of a sudden, because the British government did not change the travel advisory. Still they say do not go to Sharm or Hurghada and so on. So it is now becoming really political. It has nothing to do with safety, security. We're safe, we're secure. We have a small number of tourists who come for the cultural program, and they talk to us and say, we don't know why our media is so against you. They tell us, do not go to Egypt, it is dangerous, they're killing and things like that. So hopefully after the Pope visits, this will start again sometime in October, we hope. This is our season, the October all the way to Easter 2018. But so far, no, we do not have any kind of, and it's a pity, because this is the history of Egypt, and it's an expensive program. The people, tourists going to Sharm, Gharda, and so on, you know how much they pay? Between 400 and 450 euros a week, all inclusive. Drinks, meal, aircraft, air ticket, everything. Versus when we do a package for Luz or Aswan, Abu Simbel and so on, we are in the vicinity of 900 to 1,000 euro, more than the double, because there are a lot of entrance fees and they want to go everywhere. Okay, so really the whole country works, but with this leisure, they just land, hotel, the beach, and maybe sometime they want to go to Luxor on an overday. Maybe Ras Muhammad in Hurghada, in Sharm el-Sheikh for the corals and so on, and that's it. They don't spend any money.
Yes, this is a very economical and wise perspective, because when you're saying the amount of spending, this is the tourism industry. This is what affects every other industry along with it. And I like the perspective that he kept, is that, by trend, we know the tiers of tourists, and being in an amazing resort might actually have them stay in the resort for the majority of their leisure time, and they end up like leaving the resort without even visiting any place.
Basically, you are right, but whatever the nationality is going to Hurghada, Sharm el-Sheikh and so on, a first timer, they do the visits. They buy a trip to Cairo, they buy a trip to Luxor, they buy a trip to St. Catherine when they are in Sharm el-Sheikh and so on. But they are repeaters, so they come usually Sharm el-Sheikh. It's the second, a third, the fourth repeater, the same guy or the same family. The second visit, what is he going to buy? Nothing. He saw everything that is around the vicinity, and even they come to Cairo on an overday and sometime on overnight, and that's it.
Yeah, but there must be some reason behind this, because if you look at Tour Eiffel, for example, as one of the landmarks, you find people would go twice and 3 and 4 times to the same location. What is depriving us from having those repeaters to be visiting the landmarks too?
They like the destination, and they mainly come for the sun and the sea. They mainly come in wintertime, as let's take the Russians. November is the highest month in Sharm el-Sheikh for the Russian. Used to be. They don't come anymore. Again, because it's political.
Yes.
And now they want us to accept that the security at the Sharm el-Sheikh, for example, is done by Russian security service. This is unacceptable. And we cannot accept something like that. It's all the time delaying and delaying. They like the place. When it's in Moscow, it's minus 20. It is plus 20 or 22 in Sharm el-Sheikh. So we have a 43 difference. And they're not for the culture. The Russians are not interested by the culture.
So what you're trying to say is, like, you know, each segment, each nationality would be having a different story for repetition or not.
Yeah. If you take the Germans always wanted to come to Egypt for the classical program. And then they like the change. Now in the late 80s, we started Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh, so the German charter started to come to Hurghada. But till today, always the number one for the touristic culture were always between German, French and Italians.
And British, I think, also.
And?
British, the British.
Yes, and British
especially
as well.
British, I think the British, some of them are repeaters as well.
Yes, they are. They are. And okay, for me, it's not the number of tourists. It's for me, it's the income.
The quality.
The quality and the income.
Yes.
I mean, we never say we received. The ministers say we have, I don't know, 10,000 tourists arrived today. This is political to show the big guy that, you know, we're working and we're bringing. But that's nonsense.
The income rendered from them is
what
so
do
much.
the people pay per person per night?
Yes.
And this is the income to the country. And this is the taxes and this is and so on.
So there's always two numbers that we look at: the number of visitors and the
number of nights and the number of nights spent. For me, as a professional, I don't care about the number of tourists coming. I care for the room nights, because this is the income.
Now there is a new initiative which is reviving the path of the Holy Family in Egypt.
Yep.
How do you see that, and what do we need to revive?
I had the privilege to work with Hisham bin Zazou, former tourism manager. He did the tourism ministry. He did the committee to prepare the visit of the Holy Family. Unfortunately, till today, that about 4 years ago, we wrote letters to all the governors. You have between 22 to 23 points where the Holy Family stopped in, from Sinai all the way to Asyut. Okay. Within these 23 points, the tourists can only, or Egyptians can only visit 7 or 8.
Yeah,
and you cannot access the other. There is no roads, there is no basic cafeteria, toilets, nothing. It is dirty, and nobody is doing things. Since Hisham Bey, we wrote to all the governors, Ya Jamaa, we have this site that's very important. You cannot ask a tourist to come from America or wherever he comes from for just visiting the, it's not our advantage, because he will come for a week, 10 days and leave. Whereas if all the spots are ready and accessible, and they will stay maybe 3 weeks. So it's another income. Till today, nothing has been done to the other 17 or 16 sites that nobody can know, not even Egyptian. You cannot access it completely.
Is it due to security or funding?
No, it is a matter of, it's not even funding, it's, I don't know, they don't care. Because the Ministry of Tourism is funding. They have money, and they told the governors, the governor race, that we are going to give you the money. You just have to clean, to asphalt, to have a coffee shop, to have a toilet. So you cannot send people like that and there is nothing. And remove the garbage and all the things. It is, at that time, the minister said, we are going to finance it. So it's, I don't know, they don't care. Mind you, the Ministry of Tourism, the promotion, the promotion, they are government civil servants. They don't understand anything in tourism, nothing. They're just a civil servant. He now reports and writes reports and so on. So that's why Minister Zazou came to us in the private sector and said, you it's your job, please help me. We try to help, but the routine, the interests,
But you know that there is a current initiative, as Sharif mentioned, Egypt Tourism Minister Yahya Rashid headed to Rome in order to discuss with the Vatican's tourism officials the possibility of promoting the Holy Family route in Egypt as part of the religious tourism. So maybe now things will be taken and more actions will be undertaken.
We hope so, but so far Italians do not come to Egypt. Like all, if you take in 2010, we received almost 14 or 15 million tourists. 72% come from Europe. Okay. They are Europe, very close to us historically, Mediterranean, and so on and so forth. And now, last conference I attended in Portugal in 2016, they were the major European tour operators, and they told us, guys, our people do not want to go to any Muslim country from Morocco all the way to Indonesia. Why? Because what they see about the Islamic religion is the killing, is bombing, is whatever. And nobody tells the people there the truth. Okay, we always tell between us, Islam is not like that, it's like any other religion, God sent. It's peace, it's not killing, etc. But who tell them? Who tell abroad that we have no one? And since more than 10 years, we are in the private sector saying to the government, you have to hire one of the major PR company around the world. There are 4. 3 of them have their offices in Egypt. They cost a lot of money, but they reply to this. And we had a beautiful experience when Fuad Sultan was Minister of Tourism. He hired one of these PR companies. And a very brief example, on one of TV, one of the big TV stations in New York, made a program, Egypt Cradle of Terrorism.
Yeah.
This company wrote immediately a letter of protest, signed by whom? They wrote the letter, of course, signed by the Egyptian ambassador Ashraf Ghorbal at that time in Washington. And next day we had prime time, 20 minutes, Egypt Cradle of Civilization. Who does this today? We do not have anybody. ولا استعلامات, no tourism. Khargeya, a Minister of Foreign Affairs.
So we need to change our strategy abroad.
Absolutely, you have to change the image. The visit of Pope Francis to Egypt was a gift from God. What did we do about it? Nothing. Nothing. Yes. Okay, the media. You know how many how many countries vision this 160 countries, almost 2 billion people. Nothing. We do not know.
How well did we market this, and how well did we make use of this?
We did not, because we do not know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I personally wrote to the actual minister and to other, the Council of Ministers, Ya Jama'a, hire one of these big PR company. They are all around the world. They have their people inside television, newspaper. It's their job.
Yes.
PR is you study PR and you take a PhD in PR. So we said hire for 6 months. 2 months a month before the visit, a month within, during the visit, and 4 months or 5 months after, to market, to promote, to sell. This is their business. Nobody listens.
I think it's about, usually we've been hearing from the tourist experts and people in the tourism industry about this amazing challenges ever since the 2011 revolution.
Yes.
And in my humble opinion, it's all about, one direction, one strategy, and everybody is behind it. Because it's very obvious to us as media, because we're meeting a lot of initiatives, a lot of